our next effing level. You got to just see this story. I'll just watch.
3 weeks in the brutal wilderness, Tiffany Slaton telling the world how she did it.
How did I avoid death? I'm pretty good at foraging.
From Georgia had planned to spend
3 days in California's Sierra Mountains, but an accident sent her dangerously off course.
When I fell off of this cliff, I was unconscious for about 2 hours and did indeed have to splint one of my legs and pop the other knee back into place.
Relentless exposure to bright light from the harsh snowy terrain, damaging her eyes, forcing her to wear sunglasses even 2 days after her rescue.
Based on what the doctors have told me, it may be repairable.
Initially, she had supplies and some food. When that ran out, she relied on her skills to find more, eating mostly leeks and drinking snowmelt.
I'm a trained permaculturalist.
All right, let's stop for a second. There's so much wrong here. First, so she falls off a cliff. She knows for sure that she was lost for like 2 hours. Or not lost, she was unconscious for 2 hours. She splints a leg, dislocates another one, and then proceeds, I don't know if it said it in this particular newscast, but she proceeds to walk 50 miles, eating leeks, which it's at 10,000 feet above sea level. I'm in like northern Michigan. I'm like right up in here. There's not leeks growing yet here, and I'm at like 3,000 feet. So that is just insane. That's ridiculous. It's impossible. But we'll let this continue to play.
That means I'm very good at foraging, but at the end, after fighting nature for such a long time, I lost my tent, and I did eventually lose both sleeping bags, so I was outside with nothing but a lighter and a knife.
All right, hold on a second. So she had 2 sleeping bags and a tent, and she just lost them. In May of 2025, she lost 2 sleeping bags in multiple snowstorms. She talks about like 13 snowstorms. They didn't happen, dude. And first off, who the hell goes in the woods for 3 days, an attempt at 3 days of survival or whatever the hell she was doing, with 2 sleeping bags? Nobody carries 2 sleeping bags, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a big area we're talking about here. And then you don't lose them. Nobody loses sleeping bags. But we'll let this nonsense continue a little bit longer.
A pre-Olympian archer walked for miles and days.
In an archery session for 2 hours, we walk the equivalent of 5 miles and lift the equivalent of 2 tons. So my body type is not necessarily going to look like a boxer's, but it is indeed an athlete's.
Finding a remote mountain resort, not a moment too.
Athletic body also defies all biology, because so anybody who walks 50 miles with a dislocated leg and 1 broken leg, with snow blindness during 13 snowstorms, and loses 10 pounds total the entire time, that's not possible. So if she's eating leeks, which are basically like wild onions, there's nothing to those. There's nothing to those. So she's not gaining weight. She's only losing weight while walking 50 miles. People on average lose like a pound a day in a survival situation, let alone an extreme, intense survival situation with like 2 broken legs. At 10,000 feet above sea level, going 50 miles, that's the most ridiculous, insane, idiotic thing I've ever heard anybody say in my entire fucking life. But let's let it go a little bit longer.
Soon.
Without Vermilion Resort, I would not be here, because that was the 13th heavy snowstorm I had been in, and it was going to be the last one. If he hadn't have come that day, they would have found my body there.
The owner of that resort, Christopher Gutierrez, leaves the cabin open for exactly this type of emergency. finding Slaton there just hours after she arrived.
She pops out, didn't say a word, just ran up, and all she wanted was a hug.
And a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
It was the best PB&J I've ever had.
Her parents worried they would never see her again.
Now at first.
I can't even play it any longer. So, and to top it all off, she started a GoFundMe, which apparently at this point has been shut down, but this is absurd, man. No part of this makes any sense to me. Like, imagine like what somebody that go, so 21 days, that's like a Naked and Afraid episode, right? You see how the people go in and how they come out looking like emaciated, their faces are sunk, they've lost, like, on average they're gonna lose 15 to 20 pounds in that time span, depending on who you are, like whether you're a man or a woman or what your metabolism is. You're going to lose different amounts of weight, but nobody loses just 10 pounds while they have 2 broken legs at 10,000 feet, not eating anything and hiking 50 miles. It's just not possible, dude. It's not possible. So that's enough of this ridiculous story, but I watched it. I saw it posted on Reddit and I couldn't not comment on this. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be doing some 24-hour survival challenges very soon, and some primitive fishing with like hand lining with primitive hooks and stuff. Those are all on deck. I've been working a lot, so I can't make a lot of videos, but this one, I couldn't let this one slide. All right, I'll see you guys soon.